Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to the TOMICA Podcast Edition, episode number 7. Hope everyone is doing well, and with the weekend quickly approaching, or the weekend has already started, I just want to wish you all the best, and you all have a good Diecast metal vehicle shopping spree, or whatever you want to call it, hunt. But we got quite a few topics today. But first, let's discuss the news that's happening right now with Tomica. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Asahi article right here. Let me get to it. So what is this article about? So the first issue of the Tomica Famous Cars collection, we talked about this. Will be launched on May 30th, the Tuesday, and Takara Tomy has carefully selected 60 valuable models from the history of Tomica, and these will be released. The first one will be the Nissan Fairlady Z432. It's actually going to be the most cheapest release, starting out. The first issue will only be 990 yen, and then after that, I believe that the others are going to be sold for close to a little under 2,000 yen. So these issues are going to be like the first issue will be 20 pages, and there's going to be 60 issues planned. The price is going to be 990 yen for the first one, 1969 yen for issues 2 through 6. And 1999 yen for issue 7 and later. So the publication will be through Asahi Tomica Collection. Let's see here. We're going to go to that. See if it shows everything. Okay. That's just the same as, not the same ad, but the same promos that we've seen already. But yeah, it starts on May 30th. Fairlady Z will be the first one, and then you'll see these consecutive vehicles. So here's the thing. I believe that if you are a Tomica collector or want to get into Tomica collecting, these magazines are something to get. For one, they're more of people who have never were able to get those classic Tomica from the 70s and the 80s and 90s, and this collection will allow you to do just that. So I think it's going to be very awesome. I don't think, while I do believe that they are going to make, quite a few that would be sold at bookstores and you could get it online. Because of the price of these issues, I don't think it's going to be as mainstream that many people can afford it. I don't think that many kids will be able to afford it, especially with Japan and their situation right now. I think parents will stick with the mainline for their kids, and for this is more for the adults that are really wanting to collect it. But the thing is you got to pre-order while you can, and you just really need to take advantage of it, while you can. So as you can see here, May 30th will be the Nissan Fairlady Z 432. Then we got on June 13th the Subaru 360. June 27th we got the Toyota 2000 GT. Then July 11th the Daihatsu Midget. July 25th, the Isuzu Bonnet Bus, and the August 8th will be the Mazda Cosmo Sports. So we know those 6 will be coming out within the next few months. And then you can see right here from 7 through 20. And again, there's a planned 60 issues. So it's going to be very interesting. I like this Isuzu Bonnet Bus. Has that classic look, especially the Daihatsu Midget. The Subaru 360 is also very interesting, but the thing is that again, you can pre-order these through Amazon, and you do get quite a few commentators from race car professionals to collectors and so forth. So I think it's going to be a major plus. So take advantage of that while you can. Again, Amazon Japan is probably the best way for those of you who live internationally to get these magazines each time they're released. So you just have to be prepared because they're going to be coming out quickly. You got May 30th, June 13th, June 27th. So they will be every 2 weeks. So let's go on to the next one. Let me get the article right here. And this one pertains to McDonald's. Okay, so you probably heard that the McDonald's Happy Meal sets have been successful. And already the first 2 sets have been released. And now the third final will feature a total of 9 types of vehicles, including the Toyota Hilux, the tow truck, police car, police motorcycle, and aquarium truck. Actually, let's see here. So that's May 12th that these were released. Toyota Hilux, Sakai City Fire Department Special Advanced Rescue Vehicle, Nissan Skyline GTR, Patrol Car, Honda VFR, Police Motorcycle, and Hato Bus. So those are the ones that are being released right there. Because I think the aquarium truck was the second one. So, okay, for the second article here, we have the McDonald's Happy Meal set. The third version will be out and on May 12th. So Friday, the happy sets of Tomica will feature Toyota Hilux, Sakai City Fire Department Special Advanced Rescue Vehicle, Nissan Skyline GTR, Patrol Car, Honda VFR, Police Motorcycle, and the Hato Bus, and more. So it comes with a main menu such as cheeseburger, chicken McNuggets, and hotcakes, a side menu, and a small drink. And you can get a toy or a book. And I think if anything, this is, again, these have been quite popular. A lot of people have been sharing what kind of vehicles they were able to get. These are plastic vehicles. They're not the die-cast ones. So, but nevertheless, there's always a demand for Happy Meal sets worldwide. So I have, I've seen people who really love these, especially with the aquarium truck and how you roll the vehicle and how the fish moves while you're rolling it. So I think there's some mechanisms in these Happy Set meals that are pretty awesome. And if you are a person who does not want to get a Tomica, you can opt for the Sylvanian families as well. From I believe both are very popular and high demand. So the thing is, you just pretty much have to. I don't know if you could choose or buy. I think it's just pretty much whatever you get. I think it's like that in the U.S., right? Well, they'll just give you a Happy Meal. You can't just, unless you have a buddy that works there, you're pretty much going to get whatever they give you. Although, I know in the past, I've done that before where I remember being a kid and you ask for a trade and some McDonald's will allow you to do that. So you don't get the same thing as you did before. But all the best to those who are collecting these. Okay, so the next one here. Let's get to that article from Dengeki Hobby Web. And this one is in regards to this Deluxe, the case solved, Deluxe DX police base, which has appeared in Tomica Town. It includes a police station where Tomica can be parked and dispatch, headquarters, and prisons where you can play with the figures. And it's now available on Amazon. I think I saw that there just recently. And again, great for kids, but it is one of the more pricier sets at 74.80 yen. But still, you get a full police station and is there any vehicles? I don't think vehicles. I know it comes with a thief, a police person, and then the various I guess roads and the building structures itself, but no cars. So, but again, if you collect the police stuff, I guess this is it's a plus because you get all these type of roads that come with it. Curved slopes, ladder gates, antennas, searchlight, guard pole, oil drum, drill, handcuffs, walkie-talkie, a banana peel. Oh, you do get some vehicles here. According to this set, you get one police car, one dump truck, one policeman, one bad guy, and so see if we can. Oh, here it is, right here. The dump truck. Let's see if we can see it a bigger. Well, this is through Amazon, and of course, let's see here. There's that dump truck, and I assume the police car is this one because it fits a Plurel kid. So I bet that makes sense. Okay, so the next article comes from Walker Plus, and this one is the renewal of the Thomas franchise for Plurel and Tomica, which is great news. Winter of 2022, the Thomas the Tank Engine will undergo a full renewal for the first time in 12 years. In the spring of 2023, the new movie Thomas the Tank Engine AIM Dream Champion Cup will be released. So this is the poster for that, the roadshow. And as the new Thomas begins to move, the goods will also be renewed renewed from autumn to next spring. This will be for the Plurel Thomas series, the Thomas Tomica and Chorokyu. And there will be lunch goods, stuffed animals, apparel, bedding, and other miscellaneous good. About 50 items with 120 product numbers. It will be commercialized and will be lined up on stores one by one. So, let's see here. Here's a few of them already. There's the Tomica ones. And as you could see here, the CG-like look has been replaced with a more happy, child-friendly ones. So people who complained about those creepy CG faces, well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You get these happy faces. But nevertheless, I enjoy Thomas stuff. So I do own quite a few Thomas stuff, Plurel and Tomica. So it's all good. Let's see here. If we can go to the Tomica stuff. Nope. Oh, there's some brick stuff too. But anyway, that's good news for those who are Thomas fans. A lot of people, a lot of generations grew up with this series and the toys, so it's natural that Takara Tomy will continue that. So, thumbs up. Okay, let's check out the Yodobashi Diecast Metal Rankings and see what vehicle is at number 1. At number 1 is the Hot Wheels Honda Civic Custom minicar. That's pretty interesting. At number 2, we have the Takara Tomy Tomica Aquarium Truck with a shark, number 69. And in third place, we have the Tomica Premium 10 Toyota Yaris WRC. At fourth place, we have the Hot Wheels Boulevard 04 Mazda Speed Miata. At fifth place is the Tomica number 11 Lamborghini Hurricane STO. At number 6 is the DHL truck in box. Seventh place is the Hot Wheels Boulevard 93 Ford Escort RS, the Cosworth. H2. So that is 1 through 8. So let's go ahead and check out the let's see here if I can get to the Tomica back here. That's the same thing pretty much, the rankings from what I just read. Okay, here's the Tomica right now. We are going to go up. Actually, you know what? I'll just go here. Okay, let's see what is number 1 for Takara Tomy's Tomica. So at number 1, we have the Wild Speed, the Premium Unlimited number 6, the 1999 Skyline GTR, which is no surprise. So that's a good thing right there at first place. Second place, we got the ultra heavy vehicle, the number 147 UD Trucks Quone Trailer Dump. At third place, we have the Suzuki Hustler Fire Command Vehicle Blister Pack, number 106. Number 4th is the Premium 05, the Lamborghini Jota SVR. At 5th place, we have the Toyota Alphard, the luxury van, which is Tomica's number 12 in the box. At number 134, Tomica, which is number 6, by the way, is the Mercedes-Benz Citaro Case bus. And at 7th place, we have the number 50, the pre-release for the Toyota Noah. And at 8th place, we have the Tomica Premium number 6 Ferrari F50. So that rounds things out. Let's go ahead and check out Bit Camera. Okay, we are now taking a look at the Bit Camera top 20 Tomica sales rankings from May 6th to May 12th. We have the Toyota Noah number 50, and this is the first special specification version. So it's black. So these are pre-releases. You got a pre-release of the number 26 Isuzu Elf sidecar. At third place, we have the Shin Kamen Rider Cyclone, the Kamen Rider version. At fourth place, you get the Rila Kuma, number 155. Number 5 is the Tomica Dream, or Dream Tomica, that is. The Parade, Winnie the Pooh Parade. And then you get another parade, but featuring Donald Duck as number 6. Number 7th, we have the Kori Lakuma car. At 8th, we got the Kamen Rider Cyclone, and this is the second, number 2 for the Shin Kamen Rider bike. Number 9, we have the Toyota Noah. This is the regular version, the box. And the box version, that is. 10th place, we have the Tomica 46 Ferrari Daytona SP3. At 11th is the Tomica Limited Vintage Neo Honda Civic Shuttle Beagle. 12th, we have the lawnmower, the Honda FU655 Lucky. At 13th place, we have the Neo, another Tomica Limited Vintage Neo. And this is the LV N296A Nissan Gloria 4-door. 14th place, we have the Tomica Town Let's Spread Out and Play Cleanup Play Park. 15th, we have the Toyota Camry Sports Mass Patrol Car, Undercover Patrol Car, that is. 16th is another Tomica Limited Vintage, the Nissan Cedric 4-door HTF Type 2000 SGLE Extra with the copper brown. 17th is the Tomica Urgent Tracking, the Undercover Car Collection. 18th, we got the Honda Stepwagon box version. Number 19, we have the Mobile Suit Gundam White Base, and to end the number 20 position is a Tomica Limited Vintage Neo of the Honda Civic Shuttle 56i in beige. Okay, so that ends our ranking, and now we're going to go to the topic right now that I've been wanting to discuss. Okay, so for today's topic, I want to discuss, should one keep their cars in their package or should they open them? Well, as most of you know, for Tomica, you can, with the box versions, you can easily just take out the car, play with them, display them, whatever you want to do. And when you're done, you can clean it up, put it back in the bag, and put it back in the box, and you're good to go. That's one of the beauties of Tomica, is that when it comes to value, they pretty much keep their value. Even if you have a blister pack and you open it, they retain their value. That's one of the differences that you'll see in Japan and the U.S. For one, you can go to various events, and you can go to consignment stores, and you will find the vehicles, and a lot of them are in very good condition, so that's a plus. One thing to know is that there is a difference between Japan and Western. I'll use United States as an example of in the U.S. A lot of people who tend to sell their vehicles, they do it as short term. There's so much competition. There's a lot of people going for the hottest vehicles, and they pretty much snap them up really quickly, and they usually do short-term sales of trying to sell it quickly and make a quick buck. Then you have those others who are able to get special edition releases or convention releases, or even the special Redline Club Hot Wheels online. For those who are members, they're able to get those very, very limited edition vehicles, and they sell them, or they keep them for a very long time. Those are the exceptions to the rule with collecting. Those hard to find ones, those rarities, those special treasure hunts, or so forth, I can understand why people want to keep them in their original package. But for the most part, a lot of these cars can be opened, and not everything is going to have extreme value. You have to remember that people on eBay and Amazon, they will post something up and they will inflate the price. This is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time, especially with magazine companies or magazines that deal with toys. They would always have their top 20 lists or top 10 lists, and they would often choose their own toys, which is red hot, and those red hot items tend to go up in price because this magazine said so. This is the same thing that happened with comic books. It happens even with baseball cards or so forth. What one is willing to spend is depending on you as the buyer. If someone buys it at a high price, then other people start to follow. I call it the lemmings philosophy, where one posts their amount, and then everyone who's trying to sell, they say, oh, this must be the average price to sell things, so they do so. So I wouldn't buy much into it. Personally, I would never, unless it's rare, or something maybe from the original release. Let's say the first editions that came out of a vehicle, maybe Hot Wheels, Matchbox, or Tomica, or some other brand. I can understand that. If you're buying a full set, and that can add some value right there. But personally, I would never overspend on a die-cast metal vehicle, unless especially for a mainline release, unless it's like a rarity, and there's only very few made. Those are the exceptions to the rule. Pretty much, you can enjoy your vehicles, open them up, because you have to remember that for mainline releases, Hot Wheels releases so many vehicles. Mattel releases so many vehicles for both Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and there is a saturation of the market, right? There's just way too many. There are, again, some exceptions of the rule of some vehicles that were released long ago that may be very hot, and people can say, well, you know what, this is 10 or 20 years old, I'm going to list it for this price. You can buy into that if you want, but just because something is old doesn't mean that it has high value. And for example, for those of you who collect Transformers and have the original releases, those have extreme value. For those who have the vintage Star Wars, those have extreme value. But the thing is that everything else in between, people are very selective. Let's say that you have Star Wars, and you got the second trilogy, Clone Wars, the Phantom Menace. Those toys were probably hot at that time, but doesn't mean that 10, 20, 30 years it's going to be hot later on, because people know that things have changed with technology, articulation, paint. A lot of the figures you see right now are really well designed and look more like a character versus a like a piece of plastic with just paint right on it. Another thing that I have to mention is that when it comes to mainline releases, just because someone's selling it doesn't mean that you should buy it without inspecting it first. Mainline releases, as you probably know, is they tend to suffer from a variety of things, from a off-balance logo, chipping. I mean, here's an example of a 1986 Toyota minivan that just came out in 2023. You can see the chipping right here. And this comes from a card or a blister package that looked very well. And, looking at the vehicle, you really couldn't spot the imperfections unless you really look. So imagine this, you're buying it online. A vehicle is perfectly sealed in its package, but unknowingly you are unaware that this vehicle has various imperfections, such as right here. And then let's see here, let's go through a few of these. You'll find chipping in a lot of the places, and you'll see again chrome moss. So the question is that if you are going to buy a vehicle and spend the money for it, I would never do it online, especially if it's high. You want to be there to inspect it. Granted, if you get it from a collector who's very thorough in their review of the vehicle, saying there's no chips or everything looks pristine, then if you want to trust that seller, go for it. But otherwise, just because a blister package is in perfect condition doesn't mean that the vehicle is. So at the end of the day, I mean, really, it's really up to you. It's your money. If you are planning to keep things in a box in the blister packaging, or if you're gonna remove it, it's up to you. Personally, I think that I like people who take value of their vehicles by opening them and displaying them, and really have the passion for diecast metal hunting, or not metal hunting, but diecast metal collecting of the vehicles. The hunting portion is something you really have to be careful for. And I mentioned this many times. Once you start getting that into your system and you start waking up at certain hours and you start getting this urge that you need to go to the store, and not just one, you need to go to many stores, because you start to enjoy that thrill of the hunt, that can also become dangerous. And more so if you are a completionist, because you'll be spending a lot of money. You know what, if you do really want to invest in your 401k or your Roth IRA or something. I'm not a financial planner, but that's usually a sound advice that many financial planners will tell you. Do I own any vehicle stocks or so? Yes, I do. But the thing is that I think, when you're considering your own personal future, if you're looking at for long term, invest in something that will benefit you when you become older. There's a lot of people who collect, and there are people who collect short term and long term, but no one can easily predict what happens if you pass away, or there's some natural disaster or whatever. There's one thing that when it comes to various toys, there's very few that has intense value no matter how old they become, and I think one toy line is this one, and it's Lego. Lego has a really good strategy down where, while we know that Hot Wheels tends to oversaturate the market, and Lego as well. One of the major differences, though, is that Lego doesn't rehash things every year in different color variations. One of the things you notice is that if you buy a garbage truck one year and a garbage truck comes out the second year or the third year, it's not the same. The same thing with Batmobiles and so forth. There's no repaints or using same molds or whatever. They tend to redo things to keep things fresh. And also a difference is that you have a different type of set of consumer. Lego does high-end things. They do structures that are very highly collectible, but at the same time, they range from $350 or actually $250 and up. Those are awesome collector sets that toy hunters or Lego fans go for, and there's always an availability where you can purchase it online through the Lego shop. You can get what you want, no problems asked, but they will let you know when stock is low and they're going to be selling out. Unfortunately, with Hot Wheels, you have to pretty much, get it from an auction site if you can't find it in stores, and you have to really, put in the effort of trying to figure out if, of building relationships with, or networking with people to find out if they're legit or not. And that's something I really do not want to deal with, is unless you're dealing with a collector who knows who knows what you're looking for. Just because something is, again, perfectly carded, perfectly in a box, does not mean that the toy is in great condition. You really want to see what you're buying, and that's why if you are that collector who wants everything mint in box, then you pretty much want to be at a show, a convention, where you can put your hands and look at things. It's just how it is. You just don't buy things online saying, okay, yeah, I want this vehicle. It's so hard to find. I'm going to buy it and I should be happy. Again, when it comes to Hot Wheels, there's going to be a lot of shipping, and especially for mainline, there could be damage. So you just got to be careful. That's why if there is a line, if you really want to be careful for paints and the care that goes into collecting, then you pretty much should go for more higher end Hot Wheels, such as the premium line, or the more you pretty much the more the more expensive lines. But really, only rarities, special convention of releases. Even with the Tomica stuff, everything is available pretty much online and at stores that you can usually can pick it up quite easily. The hard part for Tomica stuff is usually the store only releases, because not every location has a Tomica mall or an Aeon store, where in the US people can just drive to those areas and check store after store. People in Japan really don't do that, because one, it's a train driven society, and usually if you're willing to take the train to every and walk to every store, then so be it. But really, a lot of things are now driven online. So, and the last but not least, another difference when it comes to Japanese collectors is that the one of the things is that they have to deal with is space considerations, where many people live in homes or apartments with big rooms, and they can store their their toys or their hobbies easily. In Japan, a lot of these rooms are cramped. As you get older, a lot of people move out to studio homes, or they get their own. If they make good money, then they could get better homes or better rooms. But moving is something that happens quite a bit for Japanese, unless they are retired and they are fixed at a certain location. Another thing is that in Japan, why consignment and resales are popular is because this is a topic brought up in Japanese publications, is once someone is married, the spouse usually wants the collector, usually a guy, to stop their collections and focus their money on their finances towards their family well-being, having children, or getting a new car. Cars are a rarity, but it does happen for certain families that can afford it, and so forth. So, and I noticed that with a lot of guys, or a lot of even women too, as testing. Okay, here we go. They sell their toys, and that is something that's commonplace in Japan. It's become so big lately, the resale market, that I think if anything, finding Tomicas is not very. I don't want to say it's not difficult, but the thing is that you'll find a lot of people who put a lot of care into their vehicles and are willing to resell it. And again, Tomicas really rarely go down in value. They tend, even when opened, they tend to have they never go below retail price, so that's a plus. Whereas Hot Wheels, you will find a lot of them in garage sales, yard sales, and estate sales. And whether or not the quality of those vehicles are going to be in good shape, it's again, that's like anything. You really want to see it for your own eyes, and whether or not you want to buy it or not. Just because something is on an auction, you just got to be careful. So, caveat emptor. So, yeah, that's my feeling of keeping things in box or opening them up. There's always a buyer, but what they're willing to spend is what you're willing to sell it for. And I can tell you right now, people want deals, and you got to be careful, because there's a lot of scammers out there that you can send things, and next thing you know, they'll purposely bend the package, or even the post office or whoever's delivering it. The box may be smashed up, and you could be liable for that as well. So it's selling things online, especially of things that where people are very hardcore about the packaging and everything, no matter how much padding or how much stuff you put in there, unfortunately, you have to be prepared for the risk of sending things out. Trust me, I know this for a fact. I want to give you a story here. Maybe many years ago, actually, there were these Return of the Jedi Star Wars figures that I got on clearance, and it was a shock because these things they cost a lot of money, but yet at this Kmart, when Kmart was still a popular store back then. I'm not sure if they're still around. I think maybe some places do, but I know a lot of them closed down. But way a long time ago, I found these on clearance, and I figured, okay, I got them at, I think it was $5, and people were willing to pay close to $25 for them. But then I realized, okay, then you have to buy a box and the padding materials, so shipping and handling materials. I try to include that. And next thing you know, I think of the 5 that I saw on clearance and the 5 that I tried to sell, they were somehow, 2 of them got to the destination, and then 3 of them, they took pictures and the boxes were all smashed up and so forth. And of course, you're liable for that stuff. And you have to face getting a negative on your account, and you're just like, my gosh. And I think that was one of the few times where I just said, you know what, it's not worth selling, especially if you're dealing with people you don't or a distribution, or not that's distribution, but a delivery, that these things are just, even no matter how well you pack them, they get destroyed, and that's unfortunate. So it happened also when I was trying to sell when I got rid of my collection of G-Shocks. And G-Shocks, as you know, are very durable and so forth. And I sold a vintage G-Shock, one of my older ones that I had, that I've used and collected. I sold it, and next thing you know, when the person bought it, they said, "Oh, the watch you sent me is all damaged. It's all broken." And he was showing how it had a smashed screen and everything, and I was like, wait, no. My G-Shock was well taken care of, perfect condition, well packaged, but yet you're saying that it received like heat damage, like that the glass imploded, and like, and that the watch is no longer functioning. I just said, you know what, I said, this is not my watch. This is probably a bait and switch, and they're trying to say whatever broken watch that they owned was the one I sent, and that was not the case. And the good thing is I usually took video and photos, a ton of photos of them, and I had to fight it on eBay, and I won because the person did not respond after 30 days. Because I figured they probably thought that, that I would say, oh, go ahead and keep the watch, and I'll take the loss. I'll send you your money back. And that's where you got to be careful, because there's a lot of scammers who do that. They, they know that if you're going to send an item, and if they have the same item already, and they just could take a picture and just say, hey, what you sent me is all messed up. So, you have to be prepared for that too. There are scammers online. So for me, I just don't believe in online auctions. And if you're going to do one, you got to put insurance. You really have to go out there and do your own diligence, do a priority mail or something where you can get insurance on it. It just costs more money, and it's quite a bit of a hassle. But I understand if you want to get rid of your stuff, or if you want to sell things, go for it. But from my experience, I just didn't find it well worth it. But when it goes well, it goes well, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And unfortunately, there's just way too many negativity that I've seen in sales, and especially the fees involved with PayPal and eBay and so forth. I just like, wow, this is just way, it's just too much. So those are things to consider as well. And I'm not to say that those auction sites are bad. I mean, it's great to buy stuff, and when you are able to sell things and make money, it's all good. If you're selling from your collection. But again, those are experiences way from the past. I choose not to sell because I've had too many problems. And for me, when I buy these toys or vehicles, I don't buy them with the intention of reselling. I buy it for my collection because I enjoy it, I love it, and I play with them, as you can see with these Legos right here. And it's the same thing with Hot Wheels. I'd like to know more about the history of them, the designer, with the creativity that went behind those vehicles. For me, that is much more enjoyable than putting something in a bin. And may I add also that when you put something in a bin, if you live in an area that's humid or hot, the plastics can get warped. So just know that in advance. There's stuff that I put in bins, such as Gunpla, Gundam toys, where I figured, they're in a safe place, they're in a bin, they're stored in a place where it's not in direct sunlight. But for those of you who live in a hot area, have you ever tried putting a bucket or a pot, a flower pot or something that's made of plastic in a hot weather, in the outdoors, even if it's not exposed to the sun? You'll know that that plastic will become brittle and it will shatter like glass. So the heat can do that. And imagine your toys that are subjected to over 100-degree weather every day. If you do keep it in storage, or if you keep it in a place that's not air conditioned, it can receive a lot of damage. And you don't know what happens to the paints. You don't know if they're the plastic areas. It can get warped. And that's something that you also need to consider as well. So that's why I'm saying is that if you really want to deal with all that, I can see people who are scalpers, who will probably go to these stores, buy them right away and sell them right away, or use them as power trades. I understand. But for those of you who really want to enjoy these toys, just open them, and the package just takes up space, and really enjoy them. When you start having too many bins just to store your collections, that's when it becomes problematic. And gosh, do you guys? Especially if you have multiple collections. Let's say that you collect cars. More than likely, you probably have other collections, maybe video games, or even Blu-rays, DVDs, 4K Ultra HDs, that are probably accumulating a lot of space already. So, especially if you have books or comic books and stuff like that, it becomes too much. So, again, you just have to really consider all those variables and whether or not it's for you. It's definitely something you need to think about and consider, especially if you're planning to do it long term. I have toys that I thought that would sell, let's say Marvel toys, and you'd think that, this is going to have value. It's like Captain America from the from this era, or Iron Man from this era. But the truth is, with today's collectors, they want something that looks more modern and something that looks very, very unique to a more of the modern technologies or era of paints and so forth. Things from the 80s, 70s, 80s, or 90s, they were just basic. And so really, I tried to test the market once by trying to sell my collection of Marvel figures from that time era, and guess what? No buyers. And I even sold that high. I tried to even sell it low, and no one would buy it. Same thing, let's say Star Trek Next Generation, very popular for its time, and the collectors for its time. But now you fast forward, and most of those collectors are older, retired, or do not want to spend that much money on a toy. You have to sell it when things are hot and when there is a need and a want for them. So that's just how it is. If you really want to become a toy hunter or a toy collector, you really have to take advantage of those opportunities and not hold on to things too long. In terms of diecast metal vehicles, I remember Dukes of Hazzard, the General Lee car. So you can probably had the original package of that with Daisy Duke on the front, and then was it Daisy Duke or was it just a regular Dukes of Hazzard? Forgot. But anyway, it was popular during the late 70s and early 80s. But do you think there's going to be a lot of value for collectors in today's market? For those who know the series, possibly, but really, time has gone so fast that what was popular then is not going to be so popular in today's younger collectors. Younger collectors are just really out for something that they cannot get in today's market because of toy hunters and scalpers and modifiers. And there's just too much saturation also in the market. Too many things out there. So, I don't think it's if you're just going to focus on the red line releases, the super hard to find or hard to obtain type of vehicles, then that's even better. But mainline releases, not so much. I really don't see it. There's, despite the distribution problems and despite the issue of Mattel just packing one or two of the good vehicles and then many others, there's just too many peg warmers that are in a case, and I think that's one of the things that really you tend to get this. I don't want to use the word disgusted, but because some people just say, "Oh, that's how it is," but you start to tend to drop off, and that's that the revolving door of collecting of Hot Wheels. Why people get out of it is because they get tired of it. They get tired of the quality issues. They get tired of getting the same vehicle over and over with a different paint scheme. And also some people may feel that the quality has dropped quite a bit. But when it comes to collecting diecast metal vehicles, that's one of the reasons why I prefer Tomica right now. You only have to deal with 2 or 3 releases per month, and the accessibility of getting those mainline releases and the premium releases are easy. Even if you live outside of Japan, you can order it from Amazon Japan and still get it at a good price. Shipping may be a little higher, but if you're buying bulk or buying more than 1 or 2, it kind of pays off for itself. So, but other than that, yeah, that's my feelings. I'm a former toy hunter. I used to collect toys. I used to have that need or want, and my body would just automatically wake up because it really wants to go to the store because I got addicted to that thrill of the hunt. And yeah, the people who love competition and that thrill, it becomes a little dangerous. So you got to be careful for that, because a lot of people like competition, but when it starts involving you traveling to these different locations, and especially putting your life at risk if there's snow or fog or excessive rain and so forth, and your body still wants to go to those stores, it's not worth it. It's not worth worth putting your life at risk, especially if you're going to go into shady areas. You got to be careful. But other than that, yeah, I think I said a lot of things that some people may understand, and some people are like, oh no, you're totally wrong. I'm making a lot of money. Well, all power to you. But the thing is that enjoy your toys. Free them from their plastic prison or their cardboard prison, and just enjoy it. And if you really want to invest in a vehicle, look into the company's stocks or shares, and maybe that's something that's for you. Again, I'm not a financial planner, but the thing is that you're probably going to be an age where you have to consider, investing in your retirement. So you might want to start that early. So anyway, that's about it. I think if anything, this Tomica is Tomica and Hot Wheels are something that are, and even Matchbox and other lines as well. These are vehicles that were created and meant to be enjoyed. And while the consumer base has shifted and the strategies employed are not really sound, not everyone is able to get the car that they want when it comes to Hot Wheels and Matchbox, because of the way distribution is. And it's been a problem. It's one thing I'm very critical with Mattel. When you start releasing too much and you offer only very few in a case, one or two, and then you leave people left with mostly the peg warmers, that's really disheartening and unsatisfying. I feel that people should have equal opportunity in obtaining these. And I want to say that Tomica is best this way, but at least you can purchase Tomica online and through stores easily, because there's only 2 or 3 releases, and there should be no reason for one to say I can't get this, because everyone has, everyone, even people outside and from other countries, can easily purchase these. It's not the case with Hot Wheels, right? You have to be very lucky, and you have to hit those stores early. And I just wish that Mattel considers, and it's never going to happen, because they feel that if you're going to get something, if you want something more desirable, then go for the premium line. But even then, you only get so many. But the thing is, yeah, I would love a day where they release a case and they do only 5 releases or so, or 6 releases, and then when you get a case, there would be like 4 or 5 of those vehicles, so more and more people can have the opportunity to get them. I know it's never going to happen, but yeah, that's my feeling. It's just I just would love to see better opportunities for people to obtain these toys that they love. We know Lego already. Lego, if you want something, you can go online to their store and get it, even on Amazon and so forth. But it's just too bad that I know everyone's looking for this Godzilla skyline, and very few are going to find it, because they only release 1 or 2 a case. And people already know, people, scalpers and even collectors, they're buying them all. if they see them on pegs, it's gone. So unfortunately, yes, you're going to have to shell out $7 to $10 or whatever people are selling it for right now. They're making their money, but you know what? Sometimes those are the only alternatives out there. So, okay, enough rambling and enough talking about this. There's one thing I do want to add. Let me get to it real quick. Okay, so a lot of people are wondering about the Hot Wheels that I get from Japan. As mentioned, if you cannot find a certain Hot Wheel in your country, look on various Amazon sites from different countries, and you should be able to hopefully get those vehicles that you're looking for. So this one is a Nissan 35 GT RR version 0.2. So many are wondering what is on the package. Well, you do get Japanese kana, as you can see right here. And so that's the main difference when you purchase a vehicle from Japan, a Hot Wheels vehicle. You could get them really cheap, especially the dollar to yen conversion. But here's a Toyota AE6, and I got the red one with the gold wheels with the white one. You can get these for like 380 yen. So what's that? About $1.70 or so, or $2. Not everything is going to be mint packaging. You got to be careful with how Amazon packages, as you can see here in the corners. But again, I open mine, so I don't really care. But let's see here. You can see the two versions of those AE86 that you can get really cheap right now. Just the difference of paint. It's just really interesting. It looks like the red. They really put more into that. Let's go to this other one here. So this one was a problematic one. This one is this Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR. And why I say problematic is that Amazon got the vehicle, and they, with the box, the package is folded. They actually put the top of this card on that flap, so it got folded. So it didn't come out well. This one came out okay, the card, but you can see those corners. So the question is, do you want to deal with that? If you are openers, perfectly fine. But if you want things mint and packaged, you can't depend on Amazon on that, because you never know how it will turn out when it comes to Hot Wheels. Okay, so this one is about the TOMICA Okatazuke convoy, the cleanup convoy. And as mentioned before, TOMICA is going through this phase of releasing things that are easy to clean up. Maybe they're TOMICA Towns or TOMICA World sets, or TOMICA Town, I mean. And then also this convoy right here. It's a big rig, TOMICA big rig that holds up to 13 cars. You have 4 dividers that it comes with, so if you have long TOMICA cars, you can fit those in. But it's more of a storage case, and if anything, but yet it's functional as a vehicle. You can put your 6 vehicles on one side, 6 on the other, 1 that goes inside through the front, and there's also a compartment right here on the top. It goes about for almost like $25 for this, 25 USD. It's about 30, close to 3,800 yen or so. But it's a really cool case to store your cars. Here's those dividers right there. They can be kept in that little compartment, but it's great if you have TOMICA Long series, so you can fit those in there. There are stickers that you need to apply. The stickers right here, and the sides. You'll need to apply that. Sticker right here. These are easy to apply. They're pretty big. So this lever right here is what opens this. This lever on the side is what opens the little side panels. So as you can see here, I just went ahead and put vehicles in there so you can see the size of it. A lot of space, but especially for trucks or with a hitch or longer type of vehicles, it'll still fit. So this is the beauty of this convoy. I really do recommend it. I wish I had something like this when I was a kid. But here's that little interior right there that you can fit another vehicle, especially big ones. I fit that little matchbox roller in there, and I just put that in there to see if it works, and it does. The back one doesn't open. It's just more of, well, here's another sticker right here that you have to put. But that's pretty much how this vehicle works. It's really well worth it if you like convoys. They do make a police one and other ones from the past, but this is the most recent one in blue, and I definitely feel it's worth getting, especially now with the dollar to yen conversion. Okay, so the next review is this for this TOMICA Town 7-Eleven set, and as mentioned, what 7-Eleven is going for is easy cleanup. So this is how it is when you open out of the package and fold it up, and this is how big it is. It's not that it's not huge, but this is great for families who have been wanting Takara Tomy to make things easier to clean up. So here is the right panel unfolded, and it's down right there. And this is how things look when it's folded. It comes with the Isuzu Elf, which is a plus. And I put a little figurine, a Miho figurine there, so you can see the size comparison. It's a little bit bigger than the actual door. I wish it was a little bigger, but I understand that the goal of this was to make it compact and easily cleanable. And you can see a size comparison right there. But I think one of the beauties of this set is that it comes with an Isuzu Elf. As mentioned, the Isuzu Elves are one of the highest selling vehicles for Tomica. People love them. It's the vehicle that you often see on the roads for deliveries, for promotions of a music release and so forth. You'll see these all over Japan. Very popular vehicle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The box of it itself comes with, well, this one's foldable, so it could fit back into the box. And there's no removable parts, so that's a plus. The vehicle comes in its own box as well. Not the usually well-decorated Tomica boxes, just a plain white, similarly sized Tomica box, but it's all white. But yeah. This is the Isuzu Elf. The 7-Eleven version, at first I figured, oh, is this, it's pretty, let me get this real quick. This is the actual box right here of it. Not that big. But, let me get another one. Here is the vehicle right here. For an Isuzu Elf, some people are like, oh man, that's pretty plain looking. It doesn't look really cool, but, let me bring up a picture here. See if I can get it. Okay, look at that right now. And this is the vehicle right here for 7-Eleven. So it's pretty much similar. It is plain, but that's how the 7-Eleven Isuzu Elves are. Not all of them, because they also have, let's see if I can get it. This vehicle. But this vehicle right here is only available from the Tomica Limited Neo release. And that's why this version is not on the on this set. It's the other one. But you can still get these two if you want the Tomica Neo version, or if you want the Tomica Town version. It's truly up to you, but for those of you who are wondering why it looks so plain, this is an actual vehicle in Japan, so it's their delivery. But I do feel that these Tomica Town sets are pretty fascinating. It's different from previous sets before. While I do like the original vintage Tomica 711 set, I do understand that the drive right now, especially with parents, and that's one of the good things about Takara Tomy, they listen to their consumers, is that they will release easy to clean up sets. And they've been consistent with this from 2022 to 2023. So far, the most recent release is Mr. Donut, but they did it with Pizza Law, which comes with a vehicle, a bus stop, which comes with a vehicle. They also have a Koban, a police station, a mini police station, a parking lot, and Sushiro restaurant. Not all of them come with vehicles though, so you need to look online and do your own research on that. I believe 7-Eleven and the bus stop comes with the vehicles, and the Pizza Law one, but the others don't. Some may come with figures, some may not as well, so definitely do your due diligence on that. And before we go, I just want to let everyone know that all the upcoming releases for June are now available on pre-order on the Amazon Japan site. The Isuzu Elf sign car is being sold for 349 yen. And if it drops in price, you get it at that drop price for Amazon Japan. But you can get that. You can also get the Disney, the Mickey and Friends Isuzu Elf blister. The other one you can still get in box format. So if you want to get an Isuzu Elf, good time is to get it right now. So Isuzu Elves, as mentioned before, the Tomica special events or so forth, they're the ones that tend to go up in price because those are the ones that are a little harder to get and obtain. Isuzu Elves are vehicles also that retain its value or go a lot higher. These are beloved vehicles in Japan, so don't be alarmed when you see something like 4,400 yen or so. These are older, and some of these are vintage. The vintage versions tend to go up for a little higher than that. So. But yeah, is there a certain Isuzu Elf that I've been looking for? Yes, I want the Yamazaki Isuzu Elf. Haven't found a price that I'm comfortable paying yet, since they tend to go a little high. But I've learned that Isuzu Elves are something you just really want to get while they're still out there. You can get them cheap. But yeah, the new one coming out, it's 349 yen, so that's about $1.75 or so US. Get it now while it's still available. And last but not least, remember that these two, the Tomica Premium number 40, the Toyota MR2, is also on pre-order right now. Premiums tend to go a little bit more, but 935 yen is about $7 or so. A little bit more than you get with the premiums that are $6 in the US. But yeah, these premiums are very cool. It has the headlights that pop up and down, so that's really awesome. Another one is the regular main line of the Tomica number 50, the Toyota Noah. Vans tend to go up pretty quickly, but this one's 550 yen, so that's about there's a black one, by the way, that is the first special release. So again, if they do go down even lower than that, you will get it for that price for Amazon Japan. But overall, that should be it. And again, I do want to just plug these Tomica collections, these famous collections, and their plan is to release 60 of them, and one every 2 weeks. The first one comes out on May 30th for 990 yen, which is about $7 or so. But then after that, they go up to 1999 yen. So get them now, because these are a chance to get those classic Tomicas, but using today's technology. And yes, you'll get these classic cars, and because they are magazines, that come with the vehicles, these are not going to be, I don't think these are going to stick around that long. Once they're out, they're gone, they're gone. So definitely get these while they're still available, while the pre-orders are still going on. Pre-orders go up to August right now, I think up to number 6. So definitely pre-order these. Only number 1 will be cheaper because that's the first initial release, but everything else will be 1969 from 2 through 6, and then everything will go up to 1999 afterward. But man, there's just some releases. I really want this one, the June 13th and the July 25th one, and also July 11th. Actually, I'd probably get them all. But again, these are rare, and these equal about $15. So you definitely want to do pre-orders. I would definitely do multiple pre-orders so you can so the shipping pretty much helps out on that. But or order more Tomica or Hot Wheels or Matchbox international versions if you don't mind. But yeah, that should end our episode. I know it went a little long, but I did definitely want to give my thoughts on the opening of a package or keeping them in the box and the challenges one can face with that as well. So yeah, I hope the message comes clear. I know I was rambling quite a bit because a lot of things go in my mind when it comes to that as a collector, and you know, I've been there, done that, and I just want to pass my wisdom out to some of you. But anyway, you all have a good day, and you know, again, I what if you are a person that collects to open and have a passion for them, or a person who buys them to modify, or a person who just collects to make a quick buck, you know, i.e. scalper, so be it. I mean, the thing is that you know, the problems that exist right now can be easily fixed by Mattel if they wanted to, but unfortunately that's not their, it's been like this for a long time now, ever since the first treasure hunts came out, and since then there's just a plethora, just oversaturation in the market, and it's tough. But I think if anything, I think the chances of getting things internationally are a little bit much easier, and also for you to become a member of their clubs are a little easier. But for the most part, if you don't like the practice, you can go ahead and collect another brand, and that's where Tomica comes in. Tomica cars are wonderful. You can get the regular line and the premium line, and there's not many releases per month. It's affordable, it's doable, and I find it a lot more convenient. But if you collect all multiple lines, different lines, it can get a little pricey. So anyway, you all take care, and you have the good rest of your week. See you later. Bye-bye.